So welcome to you all. In this video today we will talk about development of nervous system. So during the development of nervous system, first there's a presence of three germ layers. So what are the germ layers? First is ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, there's a presence of one structure. This is ectoderm, this is a mesoderm and this is an endoderm. There is a presence of one structure present in the center of what? Mesoderm. It will stimulate this ectoderm. So ectoderm actually is having three parts. First part, the central part is called neuroectoderm, and this part is called the neural crest cells, and this is surface ectoderm. Surface ectoderm, where from the skin is coming. So this is a surface ectoderm, this is a neural crest cells, and this is a neuroectoderm. So this is going to stimulate that, and it's stimulating that. It will convert this. This is a notochord. That's called a notochord. This notochord. What it will do? It will stimulate what? Neuroectoderm. It will stimulate the neuroectoderm. This neuroectoderm, now it's a neural palate. Neural palate. This neural palate is going to convert into neural groove. Groove means what? Depression. Okay, so there is a formation of neural groove. Now when this notochord is going to give a stimulation to that this neural ectoderm, so it will form a groove. This groove is called what? Neural groove. In this neural groove, there is a presence of amniotic fluid. So amniotic fluid will come and it will settle here inside that. So that is the first CSF. Amniotic fluid is the first CSF. First CSF क्या है? Amniotic fluid. So when this fluid will come inside, it will settle here. So what will happen now? यहाँ पे क्या था? Neural crest cells. This neural groove, it will detach from here. ये detach हो जाएगा वहां से. It will detach. Okay, this neural groove, it will detach and it will fuse. Posterior side. It will fuse and it will form like this. A neural groove. It's a neural tube now. When it will fuse, it will form. It is now neural tube. When this neural groove, it was like this. When it will detach from here, so it is like this. So it will form. When it will detach posteriorly, it will form like this tube. This tube is called a neural tube. So ये neural tube जब बना, उसके बाद क्या होता है? This neural groove became neural tube. It became neural tube, and from that, what will happen? This neural crest will come surrounding here. It will also detach from here. This neural crest cells, it will also detach from here. So this surface ectoderm, it will continue. So जो skin है ये सब इसी की वजह से है. Surface ectoderm, it will cover our body. So this is surface ectoderm. Now this is a neural tube. This is a neural crest cells. अब ये जो neural tube है, it should be. There are this anterior pore and this is a posterior pore. This is the posterior neuropore. This is the anterior neuropore. Posterior neuropore and anterior neuropore. Anterior neuropore, it should be closed 25th day of intrauterine life. 25th day of intrauterine life, and it should be closed 28th day of intrauterine life. तो ये जो पोर है, इंटीरियर पोर एंड पोस्टीरियर पोर, it should be closed 25th day and 28th day. Interior pore, it should be closed 25th day and posterior 28th day. So when they are going to close, after that this neural tube, what will happen? When it will close, so it will form a brain, and when posterior pore it will close, it will form a spinal cord. So इंटीरियर पोर जब क्लोज करता है तो इट विल फॉर्म अ ब्रेन, posterior जब close करता है, it will form a spinal cord. But कब? 28th, 25th. Then there is a development of brain. If this pore is not going to close, this pore is going to close. This pore is going to close 25th day. तो अगर आप किसी में पाते हो, किसी मतलब प्रेगनेंसी में हम फोलिक एसिड देते हैं. फोलिक एसिड, ये फोलिक एसिड क्यों देती है? इट हेल्प्स अस टू क्लोज दिस पोर. ये हेल्प करता है हमें कि ये पोर जो है ये क्लोज हो जाए. तो दैट्स व्हाई वी आर गिविंग फोलिक एसिड. व्हेन वी आर गिविंग फोलिक एसिड इट विल हेल्प अस टू क्लोज दिस पोर. तो अगर किसी में देयर इज अ डिफिशिएंसी ऑफ फोलिक एसिड इन प्रेगनेंसी, देयर इज अ डिफिशिएंसी ऑफ folic acid. In pregnancy, there is a deficiency of folic acid. What will happen? This is a neural tube. So this pore it should be closed at 25th day. Agar there is a deficiency, if there is a deficiency of what? Deficiency of folic acid. Folic acid. So this neural pore it won't close. This pore it won't close. There's the formation of brain. It will stop. तो ब्रेन की जो फॉर्मेशन है, जो ब्रेन है, इट विल बी डिजेनरेटेड. तो ब्रेन नहीं बनेगा वहां पे. द डिजेनरेशन ऑफ ब्रेन. सो उसमें आप क्या पाओगे? देयर विल बी मे बी देयर इज नो प्रेजेंस ऑफ स्कल. स्कल बोन जो होती है ये उसमें प्रेजेंट नहीं होगी. ब्रेन आउटसाइड होगा, एक्सपोज्ड ब्रेन. एक्सपोज्ड. If there is a presence of brain, not whole brain, there will be a less brain. There is a piece of brain, but it will be exposed. There will be no formation of skull. So वहाँ पे skull नहीं होगा, तो जो brain है वो exposed होगा, outside होगा. So because of what? Because of deficiency of folic acid. That is why we are giving in pregnancy. We are giving folic acid. So how much we are giving? 400. ठीक है? 400 micrograms we are giving. Okay, so in pregnancy we are giving that much folic acid. So folic acid किस लिए देते हैं? कि पोर जो है anterior पोर एंड posterior पोर क्लोज हो जाए. और अगर अब posterior पोर जो है, posterior पोर it should be closed and 28th day. 28th day जो ये posterior पोर है, ये वाला पोर it should be closed. तो ये क्या बनाता है? spinal cord. अगर ये क्लोज नहीं हुआ, what will happen? There will be open spinal cord. 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 There is an open spinal cord. What is the open spinal cord called? That's called what? Racheschisis. Racheschisis is this posterior pore. It will be open. So what will happen? There is a open pore. The CSF will leak out from that. CSF जो है वो out मतलब बाहर आएगा वहां से. कहां से बाहर आएगा? This pore से. So there is a more chances of intrauterine death. Intrauterine death. मतलब बच्चा इसमें मतलब बहुत सारे केस में देखा गया है कि बच्चा मर के ही पैदा होता है. So there will be also one more thing, Cranioracheschisis. That means brain is not developed, as well as there is a open spinal cord. Both. The brain is not there. There will be a formation like this baby will be there. This is a open and there is no brain. So that is also intrauterine death. There will be also intrauterine death. That is why we are giving a folic acid. So we have to give folic acid definitely to the pregnant woman. Now we will discuss some important points about development of nervous system. Central nervous system. It is derived from neural tube. Peripheral nervous system. It is derived from neural crest cells. But there is some exception about peripheral nervous system. There are some exceptions. There is ganglion, 5th neuroganglion and 8th neuroganglion. 5th neuroganglion and 8th neuroganglion. I am talking about ganglion, not about nerve. So 5th neuroganglion, ganglion. 5th neuroganglion and 8th neuroganglion, they are derived from neural crest cells plus ectodermal placards. That means 5th neuroganglion and 8th neuroganglion, they are derived from neural crest cells plus ectodermal placards. They have some contribution of ectodermal placards. That is the exception. That is the exception of peripheral nervous system. That means if there's a question, spinal cord is derived from what? Neural tube. Neural tube. Spinal cord is derived from neural tube. Brain is derived from neural tube. But the peripheral nervous system is derived from neural crest cells. That means spinal nerves and cranial nerves. So then we will talk about something, amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid. It was the first CSF. CSF means cerebrospinal fluid. It was the first cerebrospinal fluid. Second, once the ventricles are formed, जब ventricle बन जाते हैं, once the ventricles of brain are formed, that time the CSF is formed. CSF is formed by choroid plexus. At the time of development, the first CSF is actually amniotic fluid, and once the ventricles are formed, when the brain tissues are getting developed, means brain tissues are formed. So that time, when the ventricles are formed, there is a choroid plexus inside the ventricles. They will make cerebrospinal fluid. So that was all about the development of nervous system. There are some basic pointers. What are the basic pointers? You have to remember that. You have to know about central nervous system. It is derived from neural tube. Peripheral nervous system. It is derived from neural crest cells. But there are some exceptions. Vestibulocochlear neuroganglion and 5th neuroganglion. They have some contribution of what? Ectodermal placard. And amniotic fluid is first amniotic fluid, that is CSF, and second amniotic fluid is what? Second amniotic fluid is derived from what? Derived from choroid plexus. Choroid plexus are where? Choroid plexus are present in the ventricles. Ventricles are what? Ventricles are the part of brain. They have a hollow structure. Inside that there is a CSF. And